All right, let's just get right into it, shall we? For years, we really thought we had the ocean floor figured out. We've mapped it, we've sent probes down into the darkest trenches, and honestly, we felt pretty confident about what's down there. But literally just last week, a research team out in the Mariana Trench stumbled onto something that hasn't just updated our textbooks, it has completely shattered the very boundaries of known biology and geology. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack what might just be the most astonishing scientific revelation of our lifetimes.
Because this whole thing leads us straight to one massive, profound mystery that is absolutely dominating the scientific community right now. Are we truly alone on Earth? Or does the deep abyss hide secrets that we just aren't prepared for? We're always looking up, right? Staring at the stars, searching for the unknown. But it turns out the most alien discoveries imaginable might actually be buried right here beneath our own oceans.
So, to really grasp the sheer magnitude of this, we've got to set the scene. Picture the control room of the research ship Albert. It's pitch black outside, dead of night in the Pacific. Inside, it's heavy silence. The only sounds are the hum of supercomputers and the quiet, steady ticking of an acoustic tracker. Everyone in that room has their minds focused exactly 10,000 meters below the surface, down in absolute pitch black darkness under literally bone-crushing pressure at the deepest point on our planet. Up top, Elena, the lead acoustic specialist, is rubbing her eyes, just monitoring what is supposed to be a totally routine deep-sea acoustic survey.
Now, the team fully expected their advanced probes to just return the standard baseline for the Mariana Trench. Dark volcanic rock, maybe a handful of primitive single-celled organisms if they got lucky. But instead, Elena's monitor suddenly starts oscillating with this wild, highly unusual pattern. The telemetry wasn't bouncing back those random, scattered signals of rocks anymore. No, it was returning unfamiliar, highly regular acoustic echo, just reverberating up from the abyss.
Staring at this wildly fluctuating screen, Elena muttered these exact words under her breath. Impossible. This is not a natural pattern. And just put yourself in her shoes for a second. You are a seasoned expert. You spend your life mapping random geological formations. And suddenly, the data staring back at you implies order. It implies structure. It's like finding a perfectly straight line in nature. It just doesn't happen. So the team immediately redirects their advanced probes, pushing the cameras through all that intense deep-sea static to get eyes on whatever was reflecting that signal.
And what those cameras revealed made literally everyone in that control room stop breathing. Down in the eternal darkness, a place where sunlight has never, ever penetrated, they saw symmetrical geometric structures. Let that sink in. But it wasn't just the symmetry that broke their brains. These structures were glowing. They were emitting this soft blue light. An entirely unidentified light source was cutting straight through the blackest, deepest point on Earth. It was an absolutely impossible engineered visual.
Of course, human nature loves to default to denial when faced with a huge paradigm shift. Project director Dr. Harris immediately scoffed. He insisted it was just a camera lens glitch, or maybe sensor noise from the insane pressure down there. But Elena? She refused to let it go. Ignoring the skepticism entirely, she expertly piloted the probe's robotic arm to scrape soil and physical material directly off the walls of those glowing structures. She knew they needed hard physical proof.
Which brings us to Section 1. Wie fremde Biologie dort überlebt, or for those of us who need the translation, how alien biology survives there.
So let's really break down the absolute hostility of this environment, because this is crucial. Whatever is down there creating these geometric shapes in this blue light is thriving, not just surviving, thriving, under 10,000 meters of crushing physical pressure. It requires absolutely zero sunlight to generate energy, and it grows completely without oxygen. It's basically the ultimate impossible extreme survival scenario. And most astoundingly, the early data suggested it utilizes biological building blocks completely alien to our understanding of life. It's a literal dead zone acting as a perfect bridge to theories we usually reserve for deep space.
But the true weight of this whole discovery, it didn't fully hit them until the very next day. Those samples Elena grabbed with the robotic arm were brought up to the Albert's onboard lab. And let me tell you, when those preliminary chemical tests ran, the truth hit the science team like a ton of bricks. This was no camera glitch. What they were looking at was a totally shattered biological paradigm.
When you compare known Earth biology with these Mariana samples, the shock makes total sense. Think about it. The very foundation for life on Earth is carbon-based, right? Well, the Mariana samples rely on entirely different biological building blocks. All chemistry as we know it is neatly mapped out on the periodic table. These samples, the marine biologists found unknown molecular compounds that are literally unheard of in our periodic table of elements.
While life as we know it demands oxygen and sunlight, this anomaly is somehow thriving in the most extreme, pitch-black isolation you can possibly imagine.
And when these marine biologists say they found different biological building blocks, they aren't just using flashy words. This is staggering. By definition, these are vital structural units of life that scientists previously assumed could only exist on distant extraterrestrial worlds. Finding them here, in our own ocean, it fundamentally redefines the chemistry of life. It basically means the universe's recipe for biology is infinitely more complex and way more diverse than our little carbon-based Earth-centric minds ever allowed us to believe.
Later that night, standing out on the deck of the research ship, staring into that dark Pacific Ocean, Elena finally grasped the true magnitude of this mission. They hadn't just stumbled onto a neat little scientific anomaly or some weird new species of deep-sea fish. This was a profound planetary revelation. As she put it, Earth holds mysteries more alien than the solar system itself. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The answers we've been desperately searching for with these massive telescopes pointed at the stars, they might have been buried deep beneath our own waves this whole time.
So how on earth is the scientific community making sense of all this? Well, based on those perfectly symmetrical, engineered shapes and this completely unknown chemistry, researchers are currently debating two incredible leading theories. Theory 1, we are looking at the remnants of a lost, ancient, highly advanced underwater civilization that mastered biology in ways we can't even begin to comprehend. Or, Theory 2, and this is wild, this is literally extraterrestrial life. Beings or biological technology from another world that came to Earth and took refuge in the absolute deepest, most isolated trenches of our oceans years and years ago.
Both of those possibilities challenge absolutely everything we thought we knew about history, biology, and honestly, our place in the universe. So what do you think? Are we looking at a lost ancient civilization or an actual extraterrestrial refuge hidden deep in our oceans? The deepest abyss on Earth is finally speaking to us, echoing with these massive mysteries. The only question now is, are we actually ready for the answer? Definitely something to think about next time you look out at the ocean. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning everything.